Hey YouTube, Moose Cow here. It's been a little bit since my last video, which was Kings and Kaisers, and we had to cut that short because I was obviously losing and I got really busy and slammed with work. Work has finally eased up a little bit, so it's about time to get another game going. And as you can see, I don't have everything set up. That's because we have made a few changes, and I just want to kind of go over what the changes are going to be so far that we've done, and we will be incorporating these changes into this game that we are going to be playing. And again, it's me and Madman, basically, yeah, I'm going to be playing the Central Powers this time, and Madman will be playing the Allied Powers. And vengeance will hopefully be mine, but we'll see, because we've made it harder for the Central Powers. At least a little bit, and also easier for the Allied Powers in regards to certain things. But anyway, I'm just going to go over what we got. There are, of course, no map changes. Everybody's going to be happy to hear that. There's no map changes. We're very, very happy with this map. But there are national objective changes, and there's a few setup changes, which I'm going to go over right now. So, I got some neutrals over here set up just because I got excited last night and set up a few things. But anyway, none of that's changed. Okay, first things first, I'm going to go over the national objectives that we have changed. But let's start over here on this side of the board, so it'll be a little easier for me to clean up. So one national objective we changed, mostly wording. This is just to avoid confusion. Originally it was 1 IPC for Japan per original central power territory in the Pacific Ocean. We have changed that to just saying specifically German, just in case, if the Allies declare war on China, and China becomes pro-central, or essentially a central power nation, or a minor central power, there's no confusion. That doesn't count to Chinese territories. So just so that there's absolutely no confusion with that, it only applies to German territories. So that national objective has been changed. And also, with the way that we have it for China, if the Allies do declare war on China, we decide to not make it easy for them. So if China becomes at war with the Allies, and they're not a pro-Allied nation, China will get 10 IPCs if China is united and at war with the Allied powers. If they're at war with the Central Powers, the idea is if they're at war with the Central Powers, there wouldn't be as much of like a national defense. People wouldn't be as motivated to do it, be in a conflict all the way over here for the most part. But if it's on their back doorstep and the Allies are full on invading them, there'd be more unified defense against that, is how we're thinking about it. So if China is at war with the Allied powers, if that ends up the case, then they get 10 IPCs just for being at war with them. So makes it a lot more difficult. Japan can't just steamroll China if the national protection war is not going in the Allies' favor. So there's that. And then if the North Imperial Dynasty, the pro-Allied faction, wins the national protection war, then the British Empire, they've united China, and China is now pro-Allied. So the British Empire get that labor force that China supplied them. After the National Protection War, China did declare war on the Central Powers in 1917, I believe, but they didn't send any troops over. They didn't send any army over. What they did send over was a labor force for the British and the French, but primarily for the British Labor Corps, or however it was. I think that's what it was called, the British Labor Corps, or something like that. But anyway, they mostly helped out British, so the British get a national objective if the pro-Allied side wins in China. So there's that. I'll actually get that off the map. And then, let's see. This national objective here for Britain was originally if the British Empire controls Egypt, Palestine, Hejaz, and Arabia, and it was 5 IPCs. This one's really hard to get, so we decided to split it. And now the 2 national objectives for 3 IPCs each are if the British Empire controls Palestine and Egypt, the Suez essentially, and if the Allied powers control 3 of the following: Hejaz, Arabia, Mesopotamia, or Persia. Hejaz, Arabia, Mesopotamia, Persia. If they control 3 of those, they get 3 IPCs. Okay? on the flip side, with the Ottomans, they get a national objective for if the Ottoman Empire controls Hejaz, Arabia, and Syrian desert. So if they control these three around the Arabian desert there, they get 2 IPCs. And then this national objective, this kind of replaces actually this national objective. This was an original, we got rid of it. If the Ottoman Empire controls Palestine and Hejaz on or after round 5. And it kind of double dips with their national objective for having Egypt and Palestine. So that's kind of also why we nixed that. So this one is now gone. And then we also gave them another national objective to kind of make up for that a little bit, to make the Mediterranean a little bit more interesting. 1 IPC per territory if the Ottoman Empire controls Crete, Cyprus, or Malta. The Ottoman Empire in the past controlled Cyprus, they controlled Crete. They did not control Malta, but they did attack it and try to take control of it at some point, but failed. So they would have an incentive that they would want to have those territories. So these 3 islands are now worth 1 IPC each to the Ottomans if they so choose to take them. And what else? This one. Okay, this was another Ottoman national objective we got rid of or updated. If the Central Powers control Greece and Bulgaria, we essentially have just added Albania into that. So again, it's a little more difficult. It won't be as immediate for them to get that national objective, if they control all those. So that is the revised version, and there's now 3 territories in that, not 2. Up here, the Black Sea, we changed to if there are no Allied units, originally it was if there are no Allied units in the Black Sea. Now it's if there are no Allied units, sea units in the Black Sea while at war with the Russian Empire. Okay, so big difference. So if the armistice is agreed upon to it, they don't get a bonus for that sea zone being clear. So that's the update there. And moving on to Austria-Hungary. We revised 2 of their national objectives. If Austria-Hungary controls Serbia and Albania, is now nixed and is upgraded to they control Serbia, Albania, Dalmatia, and Veneto. So yeah, Serbia, Dalmatia, Albania, and Veneto. So these 4, they control these 4 now. They get those 3 IPCs, not just these 2. They got to have all control of all 4 of those. It can't be contested. They have to control all 4. So that's that. And then the last national objective we updated was this one. If Austria-Hungary controls or contests 3 of the following: Veneto, Poland, Romania, Crimea, or Western Ukraine. We have changed it to this. If Austria-Hungary controls, no longer contests, 3 of the following: Poland, Romania, Crimea, or Western Ukraine, while at war with the Russian Empire. So once they get that armistice, if they agree to the armistice with the Soviets, then this national objective goes out the window pretty much. And then there's one more of theirs that don't have it in front of me, but we did not revise that one. So that is the national objectives that we are changing. Now on to the setup changes, which are mostly the Ottoman Empire and Austria-Hungary, a little bit of Russia. So just go over Russia real quick. In the Russian setup, you have originally we had 2 infantry and an artillery in Kazan. We took 1 infantry from Kazan, we moved it to Caucasus, and we gave them 2 extra infantry. So there's 3 infantry in Caucasus now as a defensive force. We originally had nothing in here, and it just kind of made it awkward, really awkward for Russia, because Russia would, it basically just entices the Ottomans to go up there even faster, pretty much, and the Russians have to draw too many units away from these defensive forces over here. So we decided to add something to Caucasus, because it also looked a little weird that there wasn't anything in Caucasus. So we gave them 2 more infantry and moved 1 down to Caucasus. Okay, now on to the Austro-Hungarian setup changes. When we split up Prussia and East Prussia from the original map, the original 1914 map, we basically just duplicated the units that were in Silesia and East Prussia. And each of these are just, in the original map, it's just Prussia, right? But anyway, In each of these territories here, there's 6 infantry and 3 artillery. We added another 6 infantry and 3 artillery in Prussia. Now, this isn't a new setup, but to make up for that, because it's so strong in the push over here, because we have added these 6 infantry and 3 artillery to Germany's setup, we decided to remove that many from Austro-Hungarian setup, Austria-Hungary setup. On top of that, since Bulgaria is now pro Austria-Hungary, we removed 5 infantry and 1 artillery from their setup because of that. And then we've shuffled a few things. The 2 cavalry that we had starting in Austria, they are now in Bohemia. We've removed 1 artillery from here, moved the other artillery from Bohemia to Austria, so now there's 3 artillery here as opposed to just 2. We removed 1 from Galicia, we removed 1 from Hungary, and we removed 1 from Dalmatia. So that's 3 artillery, 4 artillery removed from their setup, and 1 moved over. And then the cavalry from Austria are in Bohemia, so that they can no longer tow those artillery into combat on that first move. We have changed the rule for cavalry that instead of only being able to tow artillery, they can now alternatively tow an infantry or an artillery. We're not playing with trucks in this game, but if you do play with trucks, trucks can tow an artillery and an infantry, but cavalry can only do one of the two. The nice thing though is that cavalry can attack, whereas trucks can't. And cavalry they always defend at a 1, whereas trucks to defend have to be paired with each other. Okay. Let's see, what else? And then additionally we sucked away 6 infantry from Hungary. Originally they start with 12 infantry here and 12 infantry here, but we just got 12 infantry in Austria, and we got 6 infantry, because again, 6 from Prussia, 6 removed from Hungary to give to the Germans, and then 5 infantry from Bulgaria. We sucked, where is it, 1, 2, 3. We got rid of 1 from Tyrol, we got rid of 2 from Bohemia, and we got rid of 2 from Dalmatia. So now it's going to make Serbia, in our last game, Austria-Hungary wiped Serbia and Romania at the same time, and it should be, the idea is that it should be more challenging to do that on that first round of combat for Austria-Hungary. There's no setup changes with the naval units here. It's still a dreadnought, cruiser, and transport, and that basically covers the Austro-Hungarian Empire setup change. Anyway, so now moving on to the Ottomans. Previously, we had those units that we in Bulgaria. We gave extra units to the Ottomans because in the original 1914 map, those are Ottoman units. However, we ultimately felt that just made them too strong. So we've removed the 5 infantry and 1 artillery that we've added into the other territories and Marmara. And we also moved the cavalry. So the main difference, basically this is essentially the out-of-box setup now, but with 3 cavalry, 1, 2, 3. And then we moved 1 infantry from southern Anatolia and 1 infantry from northern Anatolia to Armenia and Hejaz. So Ottoman Empire is in a weaker state than in our previous games. And we think this is going to be better overall, a little more accurate. So, the 2 cruisers are the same. But yeah, it basically is now that setup. And also on that first Ottoman move, this cavalry can't tow an artillery. This cavalry can't tow an artillery. This cavalry can tow an artillery if they want. But maybe they won't want to do that. But anyway, didn't want to take that away from them entirely, but that is the setup change as it is currently. So that about covers it. Let's see. Yeah, that about covers the changes we're going to do. So I got to set up the rest of the map, and that is a little update for what we're doing. So hopefully I can roll the dice better. Hopefully vengeance will be mine. We'll see. Well, what does the dice say? Yes, vengeance will be mine. Okay, cool. Stay tuned for the first round of our new game of Kings and Kaisers. And furthermore, there's one more thing I got to go over. This big beauty that you see in front of me. I got so excited about the cards I forgot to mention it. This is our battle board, and Madman got these printed, and he's working on getting more of these printed, along with our victory point tracker. He's getting those printed this weekend, and here, just a little idea. It's a pretty thick material. Here is my visual reference that I printed out and laminated before we did this, and as you can see, it's huge size difference. This is about as big as I can get printed on a standard sheet of paper. But yeah, this is the battle board. This was the scope of what we had in mind for this battle board, and it is huge and massive. I can't remember the material it's printed on right now, but it's pretty durable. Madman is getting these and the victory point sheets trackers printed. So that looks like this. This is a laminated older version, and it does not have... We've reordered these so that the minor cities and the city victory points are in alphabetical order. And it's not going to be laminated like this. It'll be like kind of the same material, I believe. Anyway, so reach out to Madman, and he also has maps printed. So we're going to have those 3 components ready very shortly. He has some maps printed already, and we'll have the cards later on down the road. But if you're interested, reach out to the Madman. I will put his email in the video description. Reach out to the Madman, and yeah, here, just look at this. Look at this beauty. Yeah. Sweet, right? This looks great. He did a really great job on this. Yeah. Let's see. Not flimsy. Doesn't, you know, it's not like that, you know? So this is just like my little visual reference, but it's obviously not big enough for how much dice you have to put on all these units and stuff like that, because some of these battles can get pretty huge. Anyway, like I said, if you're interested, if you want a battle board, if you want the map, if you want the project files, if you want a victory point sheet, he's getting these 2 printed. He already has some maps printed. If you want another map printed, whatever, reach out to him, and you guys can talk numbers and go from there. But yeah, that is the other thing I wanted to announce. So you'll be seeing this in our videos from here on out. So it's pretty cool. I might add some black Sharpie, or not Sharpie, but black marker on the edge here, just so that it's not white. But otherwise, it's pretty. This is pretty awesome. So stay tuned again for more. So catch you later.